Hello and welcome back to another episode of White Album 2. We are playing through the closing chapter on Koharu's route. Winter break is finally finished. Everyone's back to school. Haruki had a pretty good morning. Koharu looks a little bit sad. And now the big question, where's Mihoko?
さあ、まだ来てないみたいだけどな。
あ、来てた。ねえ、さゆり、小春いたよ。あこ、ちょっと来てくれないかな、小春。お取り込み中のとこ悪いんだけどさ。さゆり？でも、もうすぐ夜。すぐに終わるからさ。ちょっと込み入った話で。
That sentence contradicts itself.
込み入ってたら、すぐには終わらないんじゃ。何それ。3日くらい前にさ、電話かかってきたんだよ。矢田から直接。私にじゃなくて、言えるわけなかったんだと思うよ。あの子の話が事実なら。なんでもさ、25日は家族と外にご飯食べに行ってて、帰り9時頃に駅前を通りかかったら、あなたと例の塾の先生が、ほら、あの子のこと思いっきり振ったっていう。いたのって本当なんだ。小春？
Oh, the high school drama.
やだ、結構来ちゃっててさ、小春に裏切られたって信じ込んでるみたいで。それはでも分かってるって、矢田さんのためなんだよね。それ今回もさ、あの子の痛い勘違いだと思うんだ。今までの経験則からして。思い込み激しいもんね、本当に。でもまた今日来てないでしょ。さすがに私たちも放っておくわけにもいかなくて。卒業までもう2月もないもんね。その後には卒業旅行だってあるし。だからさ、いつもとは役回り逆だけど、今回は私たちが2人の間に入ってあげようかなって。
Well, I don't know. I think Koharu needs to sort out her own feelings and figure out a way to explain that.
今のあの子、小春とは話をしないから、私たちが小春から話聞いてちゃんと伝えて。そういうわけでさ、今日の帰り付き合ってくんない？詳しい話聞かせてもらうから。ちゃんと段階踏んで全部話せば、きっと誤解も解けるよ、小春。大丈夫だよね。なんか用ある？ショックなのはわかるけど、そんな気を落とさないで。いや、小春？バカバカしくて話になんないよ。え？詳しい話？全部？一体何の？そんなことがみんなに関係あるわけ？
Oh, wow. That's really harsh. And it sounds like she's spitting the exact same words Haruki said.
小春？そんな的外れなこと言われても詳しくなんか話せない。話したくなんかないよ、誰にも。だからそれをちゃんと話してあげないと誰も分かってくれないんだよ。さゆりもあこも1から10まで説明しないと私のこと信じられない？
Well, why do you gotta jump to that? Why can't you just give them the half explanation and be like, hey, I was going through a really rough time. I can't tell you the situation. We're coworkers. And then it would be like, yeah, okay.
私たちは信じてるけど、だから矢田が。つまり私と美穂子が仲直りすればいいことなんだよね。2人に話す理由全然ないよね。それはそうだけど、でも今は2人が話すのが難しいから。難しくなんかない。間に他人を入れる意味なんかない。だって私と美穂子は親友なんだから。絶対に分かり合えるから。
I tend to doubt that.
教えてくれて ありがとう。あとは直接美穂子と話すから。だからこの件はもういいから。もういいって。でもこれ以上話すと別の人を傷つける。そういうこと分かって。
Literally all you have to say is, my friend's going through a rough time. That's all you have to say. You don't have to be so weirdly secretive about it.
小春、そういうのいつも許さなかったじゃん。とにかく私と美穂子で解決する。それ以外はもう何も話さない。ごめんね、二人とも。そろそろ先生来るよ。教室戻ろう。小春、今年もよろしくね。
What an awkward time to say it. I examine the clock on my cell phone and make sure that the time is indeed showing on the display. It was Friday yesterday. My return to Kaiosha after the long break was chaotic as always. I had to deal with Mari-san unreasonably scolding me, as well as a rather cryptic comment from Suzuki-san along the lines of, she was lonely. And I think it was about 8 in the morning when I arrived home, before I could even come to my senses. And it's Saturday today. I'm supposed to have the rest of the week off, which is why I've decided to laze around, not think about anything, and sleep in for today.
Hi, Kitahara.
As I rub and open my sleepy eyes, I notice the keychain on the bed that Mari-san gave me in her fit of anger as a souvenir from Guam, which was about as distasteful as one would expect. Seems like one of the main reasons she got mad at me was that I didn't even know she had gone overseas to do an interview at the end of last year.
あ、北原さん、よかった、捕まった。じゃあな、おやすみ。お願いです。目を覚ましてください。
My day off, consisting of purposefully not thinking of anything, has been cut short by a phone number that I've become so used to seeing since last week.
留守番電話サービスに接続します。
Sugiura, what's the matter with you? What a weird thing to say.
なんでこんな状況になってんだよ。
Expectedly, the restaurant didn't seem to have many seats filled immediately after opening, but it was perplexing that the staff present seemed to be at their wits' end about the situation.
さっきも電話で話した通りっす。ホールが全然足りないんすよ。
話さない。もう二度と話さない。さあ、一緒に死のうね。
I pushed away the floor manager who clinged to me with teary eyes before taking a quick glance around the interior of the restaurant.
中川さんしかいないじゃん。だから電話でそう言ったっしょ。早くフォローお願いしますよ。なんでこんなシフトにしたんだよ。最低でも3人で回せってあれほど。ちゃんと3人で組んでたのに、2人もドタキャンなんて想定してないっすよ。せめてもう1人いれば何とかなったのに。なんでそうなるんだよ。
That's about all Sato tried to tell me when he called me on the brink of tears. Rather, I'd say he was already crying by then. To be even more specific, he apparently received a call about 30 minutes before opening hours. On the other end of that call was Shimamoto-san, who was struggling to even say he was unable to get up because of a high fever of 39 degrees. The floor staff was reduced to 2 people from the original 3 available, but no one seemed to be alarmed at that point in time. That's because it was floor manager Nakagawa's shift on that day, along with 2 along with who was considered the most reliable staff member and who was the least likely to be late or slack off from work.
杉浦、まだ連絡来ないの？こっちからかけても留守電で電源切ってるみたいなんですよね。
That is unusual. Nobody could have imagined that she would be absent without contacting anybody.
やっぱあれっすかね。師匠がシフト外しちゃったから心の張りがぷっつりと切れちゃって。
だから呼び戻したのよ。彼氏がこうしてここで働いてくれてれば、匂いにつられて彼女も戻ってくるんじゃないかって。
The stupid reasoning.
俺関係ないから。師匠でも彼氏でもないから。そもそも彼女に思い切り失礼だから。
As much as I'm complaining, I'm fully aware that I have no choice but to help out. As her trainer, I have to take responsibility for how she's absent from work without notifying the restaurant. Though I do intend to reprimand those who assigned me to be her trainer after work. But still, why? Really, what in the world's gotten into you, Sugiura? The 2 hours that followed were a living hell. Apart from the difficulty of having to work with only 2 people available, I wasn't able to work efficiently given my lack of sleep from the exhaustion I had to deal with yesterday. No, I usually am capable of handling such a level of fatigue when I manage to concentrate. It's just that I'm unable to forget about everything and devote myself to my work right now.
お待たせいたしました。ご注文をお伺いいたします。
ありがとうございます。グッディーズ南スーツ具店でございます。
リブロースステーキに A セットで。
ライスとパンはどちらになさいますか？
杉浦さん、今家大丈夫ですか？
ライス、
スープとサラダは？
スープ、クラムチャウダーで。
ああ、そうだったんだ。それは大変でしたね。
俺はミートスパゲティ、それにミックスピザ。あ、それをドリンクセットで。
今はどんな調子です？そうですか。
注文終わったけど。
Haruki's totally zoning out.
ああ、かしこまりました。それではご注文繰り返させていただきます。
それじゃあ今日は無理しない方が。
リブロースステーキ A セットでライスとミネストローネ。
いや、クラムチャウダー。
申し訳ありません。クラムチャウダーと。
ああ、そうですね。一時期は大変でしたけど、今はなんとか。
Poor Haruki, he's trying.
キイチゴのパフェにシーザーサラダのドリンクセット。
いや、それドリンクセットしか合ってないし、そもそもサラダにそんなセットないし。
実は島本さんも杉浦さんと同じでインフルエンザ流行ってますからね。
大変申し訳ございません。すぐに別のものが参ります。中川さん、8番テーブルオーダーお願い。俺3分休憩入るから。
What a disgrace. Poor Haruki. I would have been absolutely furious if I were the trainer right now. But right now, I know that I'd be done for if I say that I just can't help it. But I really can't help it, can I? After all.
ああ、だから今は大丈夫ですって。杉浦さんのヘルプといえばあの人しか。
変われ。杉浦、お前一体どこで何してたんだよ。
I've been worried about her this whole time and was incapable of concentrating on working because of it.
どうしてシフトに入ってなかったんだ。
それはそんな細かいことはどうだっていいだろう。
彼女つい今目が覚めたそうで。
Well, so did Haruki.
寝坊なのか。杉 杉浦小春ともあろうやつがなんて失態だよ。
That's why I was unable to resist lecturing her upon the incredible relief when I heard her voice on the other end of the line.
寝坊は寝坊なんすけど、夕べから熱が38度近くですね。
お前は黙ってろよ。俺は杉浦と話してるんだ。
Imagine being a manager and people talk to you like that.
了解しました。お飾りの店長代理沈黙します。
Oh, I want to give him a hug.
ごめんなさい。迷惑かけてごめんなさい。
病気ならしょうがないな。怒鳴って悪かった。
すいません。
That's why I was completely unaware that her voice was trembling ever so slightly.
それにしてもさ、昨日からそんなに調子悪いなら昨日のうちに連絡しろよ。
だって先輩もう来ないって、なんだか私のこと避けるみたいだったから。
俺にじゃなくて店にとか佐藤とか中川さんとか。
本当にごめんなさい。
とにかくそんなわけなら今日はおとなしく寝てろ。
After hearing her reasoning, my head, which boiled up all of a sudden just moments ago, cooled down just as quickly in relief. I mean, if that's all there is to it, imagine calling in sick and then someone immediately starts yelling at you over the phone. Like, how sad.
薬とかあるか？飯は食えてる？何か欲しいものがあったら帰りに届けても。
先輩。
何？
Perhaps the reason why I got so angry at her, but cooled down in a matter of seconds, was because I felt a sense of guilt.
先輩はそこにいるんですか？今日一日。
うん。さすがに俺が帰ったら中川さんに殺される。俺とついでに佐藤も。
いや、マジ帰んないでくださいね。
I felt as if you were trying to avoid me. Yep, that's exactly what he was doing. After all, the person in question has already noticed.
先輩。
なんだ？
今からそっち行きます。
は？
That's why, the moment I decide not to press the issue further and decide to visit her to atone for what I've done.
足りないんですよね、人で。今から30分以内に行きますから。
The situation unfolds in an unexpected direction yet again.
何言ってんだ君は。思いっきり風邪ひいてんだろ。
風邪ならもう治ってます。昼までぐっすり寝たせいで熱も完全に下がってます。
自分のことだけじゃないだろ。他のみんなに移ったらどうすんだ。シフト全滅だぞ。
Very true.
治ってるって言ったじゃないですか。それに絶対に移さない自信あります。だって。
なんだよ。勝手に切りやがった。おい杉浦、こらちょっと待て。
Even though Sugiura only wanted to call to inform us that she was sick and wanted to take the day off. If she is able to arrive within 30 minutes after recovering, doesn't it mean that in just 3 minutes she completely recovered from her illness? Or maybe her illness wasn't really an illness, she just missed you. That's just not normal at all. But that's how it be sometimes.
本当にすいませんでした。遅刻した上、連絡まで遅れてしまって。
She really came. In exactly 30 minutes, no less.
今日の分の時給は結構ですから。そんなのは当たり前ですけど、今からだけでも置いてください。お願いします。
That's illegal. They can't just not pay you because you're late.
いや、ですね、杉浦さん。バイトを無給で働かせるというのはいろいろな法律関係の絡みで無理でして。
Exactly.
そんなこと真面目に答えてどうすんのよ。
She changed her clothes within 5 minutes, although her skirt is a bit messy. Even so, her posture, complexion, voice, how she talked, and what she said showed that she might be fine, as she said.
やっぱり体調悪いんだろ。
Still, she wasn't able to hide her pained expression.
そんなことないです。元気ですよ。
杉浦みたいなやつの平気を額面通り信用できるか。
That's why I could only rely on my intuition. I casually stretched my hand out to touch Sugiura's forehead and check her temperature.
何するんですか？
少しだけおとなしくしてろ。
Despite her protest, she's finally keeping silent for a moment after making all that fuss until now.
ついでにお前らは早く持ち場に戻れ。
Taking someone's temperature with your hand is a very caring gesture in Japan, so I can see why they're a little dumbfounded by it. She doesn't feel warm. Based on what I see and feel, there isn't any evidence to refute her statement of being fine. I was pretty sure that she was just acting tough. Was I just overthinking things? Unconvinced, I continue to touch Sugiura's forehead, causing her to make a rather odd expression. Though her reaction doesn't suggest that it's stemming from being sick at all.
彼女のいる人がこういうことしないでください。それってセクハラですよ。
It definitely isn't. Okay, you need to calm down.
なら態度で嫌がれよ。
What does having a girlfriend matter when it comes to sexual harassment? In the end, Sugiura went through my strict medical inspection and headed back to work in the dining hall as a result. And then, a few hours later, if I were to summarize it, Sugiura could only be described as someone suppressing her illness and forcing herself to work. Because unlike how she usually was, she wasn't useful at all. Aww, that's sad. She was spacing out and making a lot of mistakes. It was her worst performance yet, even including her first day working here. I mean, there are a lot more reasons than illness why someone's bad at work.
すいません。いろいろと迷惑かけて。
別に責めてるわけじゃない。これも教育係の義務だから。
義務か。
義務ってのは全部嫌々ながら果たすものじゃないことは杉浦なら分かってるとは思うけど。
Sugiura seems to grow disheartened over even the slightest negative remark or action I've taken with her today. Perhaps it's because of our unexciting conversation that our steps on the way back home feel rather heavy.
本当はまだ万全じゃないだろう。熱だけ無理やり薬で下げてるんじゃないのか。
そんなことないですよ。だって。
だって？
本当にもう大丈夫なんです。大丈夫に決まってるんです。それだけは信じてください。
それで信じろと言われる方が辛いぞ。
Not only did she not answer my question, she ended up making me worry even more.
私平気だから。
On our way back, I walked her home as she trotted behind me silently as usual. No, only half of it is what's usual. My usual pace would be faster, and she would start lecturing me the very moment she found any openings she could exploit. However, our pace is incredibly slow today.
杉浦さ、やっぱ明日は休めよ。
今の私、迷惑ですか？
いや、そういうんじゃなくて。
って当たり前ですよね。今日何回ミスしたか数えきれないし、お客様にもみんなにも先輩にも迷惑かけ通し。
ミスだけなら休めなんて言うか。それどころか明日は2倍働いて返せって言う。
じゃあ2倍働きますから。
だから違うって。ミスしたのもそうやってネガティブに考えるのも 今の杉浦が疲れてるせいだと思ってるからだよ。
Oh. And why is she tired? Like, there's a reason. You just need to ask her what's wrong.
疲れてますか？
俺に聞かれても本当のところはわからない。自分の体に聞いてみろよ。
We left the restaurant at the usual time, but 3 trains had passed after the one we'd normally take by the time we got there. It's usually a 15-minute walk from the station, but at this rate it looks like it will take at least twice as long. We had to go through a repetitive cycle where Sugiura would stop in her tracks before I knew it, and I'd have to turn around to check on her many times. And yet, every time I asked if she was feeling ill, she just gave me the same answer.
だから今夜はゆっくり寝て。できれば明日もゆっくり寝て。
でも私がいないとシフトが。島本さんインフルエンザだって。
俺がカバーするよ、今日みたいに。
でも先輩、しばらくは忙しいって。そろそろ試験も始まるって。
実は全部落としても進級できるんだよ。一応杉浦と同じで日頃からコツコツやってる方でね。
大丈夫なんですね。
Oh, that expression is so adorable.
ああ、だから明日はゆっくり休んで体調を整えとけ。佐藤には俺から言っとくから。
My exams were just an excuse for me to run away in the first place. Still, how do I put this? I've told her about my exams in an attempt to avoid spending time with her like this, but divulging this just makes the endeavor feel meaningless.
先輩が来るんですね。
うん。だから安心して。
わかりました。
お大事にな。
ありがとうございます。
Well, whatever. With this, Sugiura won't come tomorrow. That's why, even if I go to Goodies, our time together, which I would unconsciously look forward to again, will... Haruki, this is so dumb. Don't deny yourself. If you want to hang out with someone, just hang out with that person. You don't constantly need to make yourself miserable all the time. And then...
おはようございます。
おい。
昨日はご迷惑をおかけしました。一晩ぐっすり眠って今度こそ全開しました。今日こそは昨日の分も取り返してみせますから。
いや、ですね、杉浦さん。
ちゃんとお給料いただきますから。それなら問題ないですよね。
You can't do that.
そんなとこ真面目に理論武装してどうすんのよ。今日だって私を含めても3人しかいないじゃないですか。ホール、追い返すべきか働かせるべきか冷静にお考えください。
お前ら言いくるめられようとしてるだろ。
In spite of my meticulous planning, it seems like we'll be spending time together again today after all.
どうして来たんだよ。今日は大事を取って休めって。
この方が元気になるって気づいたんです。
Haruki definitely has to understand that one, because he's the same exact way.
なんで？
先輩なら多分理解できる感覚だと思います。細かい理由は言うつもりはありませんけどね。
それじゃ理解できないだろ。
喉元すぎれば暑さを忘れるんですね。誰でも。
In the end, it was just like she said. Sugiura didn't seem to be in particularly high spirits, as usual, but she did show drastic improvement compared to her performance yesterday. Little improvements are enough.
これで3号館は大体回ったかな。あとは向かいの4号館にある図書館くらいだけど。
ああ、それはいいです。どうせここ入っても4年間通うことないし。
Oh, that's so cute. Takehiro's so cute.
そう。
文学部関係全部回れただけで十分。今日は本当ありがとうね、北原さん。
いや、こんなことならいつでも。
The person who's walking beside me this evening is neither a seminar colleague I'm familiar with, a certain old friend, nor a certain person's older sister that I chance upon once in a while.
いやー、こうしてじっくり見学してみるとやっぱモチベーション上がりますね。俺4月からここに通うんだなって。
Oh, Takahiro, that's so exciting. I love him. I can't wait to talk more with him. We are going to stop off there for today, though. So thank you so much for being here on this episode of Koharu's Route, and I'll be back with you soon. I'll be back to you with more soon. Until then, I hope you take care. See you!